by proposing the biggest ever foreign takeover of a British firm. New York-based Pfizer has sparked fierce debate on whether the government should let outsiders buy a pharmaceuticals group seen as a national champion in a strategically vital industry. And the government initially welcomed the bid as a vote of confidence in a tax system it has designed to attract investors. But after intense pressure in Parliament, Cameron said on Wednesday that Britain had to be hard-headed and indicated he even supported possible intervention to hold up the purchase. And the commitments that have been made so far are encouraging, Cameron said when asked about the $106 billion takeover offer during his weekly question session in Parliament. But let me absolutely clear, I'm not satisfied. I want more. But the way to get more is to engage, he added. And we want the investment, the jobs and the research that comes with that competitive tax system. And though the government has only limited legal power to block any merger, Pfizer chief executive Ian Reid has already given a 5-year commitment to complete AstraZeneca's new research center in Cambridge, Britain, a factory in Macclesfield, and put a fifth of its research staff in Britain if the deal goes ahead. And a spokesman for Pfizer declined to address Cameron's comments directly, saying the company would be pleased to work with British parliamentary committees which have called Pfizer and AstraZeneca bosses to explain the impact of any takeover. And the ghosts of previous foreign takeovers and concerns about job cuts have haunted the Pfizer bid, ratcheting up the pressure on the instinctively free market conservative-led government to stiffen its stance. And Cameron's comments are especially significant as Britain prides itself on running one of the world's most open economies that has welcomed foreign investors across many industries. And national champion. But Britain has been burned too. And during Kraft's KRFT.O. 2010 acquisition of chocolate maker Cadbury, the U.S. food company promised to keep open a key factory only to renege on that soon after the deal was done. And speaking to lawmakers, Cameron did not answer directly on whether he wanted to apply a public interest test to the Pfizer proposal, but he said he agreed with Business Secretary Vince Cable, who said Britain could apply the test. That would mean asking regulators to judge whether the deal was in the national interest. And I absolutely agree with what the business secretary said yesterday, but let me be clear, the most important intervention we can make is to back British jobs, British science, British R&D, British medicines and British technology, Cameron said. And the assessment that I want is from the business department on this deal, he added. I will judge all these things about does it expand British jobs, British investment, British science. And the opposition Labour Party has called on Cameron to expand the provisions of the public interest test to allow ministers more power over any possible takeover of AstraZeneca, though any move to do so could face legal challenges. And just a year before a parliamentary election, those demands have increased the pressure on Cameron to be seen as tough on Pfizer while not discouraging foreign investment. And media reports that 2 advisors to Cameron had previously been paid by Pfizer were dismissed by the Prime Minister's spokesman, who said there was nothing in them. And sugar pills and imposing such a test could further complicate Reid's bid, already twice rejected by AstraZeneca, to create the world's largest pharmaceuticals business and save Pfizer billions of dollars in taxes by shifting its domicile to Britain. And Pfizer has sought to allay fears that the proposed takeover would deal a blow to drug research, saying the new company would bolster innovation and speed the development of new treatments. And it said a combined group would be able to expand its global research, speed up the development of treatments and offer its products more widely in emerging markets. And Reid and AstraZeneca CEO Pascal Soriot will appear before 2 parliamentary committees next week to explain the merger. And AstraZeneca is one of the bastions of the UK's world-leading pharmaceutical sector, said Labour lawmaker Andrew Miller, who chairs the Science and Technology Committee. And next week's hearing will be an opportunity for us to scrutinise the pledges on research and development being made as part of this potential takeover and pose questions about how the government will ensure that these commitments are met. And AstraZeneca itself has already made large cutbacks as it has struggled to sustain profits in the face of a wave of patent expiries and past lack of success in its research laboratories. and it announced plans to shutter its Charnwood Research and Development Centre in central England in 2010, a year before Pfizer's decided to close most of its drug research at Sandwich. And AstraZeneca's planned move to a new site in Cambridge will also involve further job losses, with the number of R&D posts in Britain expected to fall by around 400 to 2,200 by 2016. Additional reporting by Ben Herschler, writing by Guy Falkenberg.